Good afternoon, subscribers and viewers. My name is Mxolisi Ncube. I'm a journalist based in Johannesburg. Today, the Department of Labor, through the Minister of Employment and Labor, Mr. Thulas Nxesi, released the National Labor Migration Policy for public comment. That is today on the 28th of February 2022. He says that is for the first time in the history of South Africa that such a law has been presented for consideration. And he says it comes after extensive research in the areas mentioned. So he says that the policy covers among a broad number of interrelated areas where policy gap exists: the labor migration, government and management, data for evidence-based policy monitoring and evaluation, labor migration to South Africa, and labor migration from South Africa. The proposed national labor migration policy aims to achieve a balance across four areas, according to the minister. The first being to address South Africans' expectation regarding access to work opportunities, given the background of worsening unemployment and the perception that foreign nationals are distorting labor market access. It also will be implemented by small business intervention and enforcement of a list of sectors where foreign nationals cannot be allocated business visas, and amendments to the Small Business Act to limit foreign nationals establishing SMEs and trading in some sectors of the economy. The Department of Home Affairs is also reviewing current legislation and strengthening the Border Management Authority to secure South Africa's porous borders and allow for the orderly movement of people and other nationals through ports of entry only. It also, from the side of the Department of Employment and Labor, together with all relevant authorities, they are stepping up inspections to enforce existing labor and migration legislation. Then he says that the Higher Education and Training Department has also released a list of scarce and critical skills, the ones that we spoke to a few weeks ago, in high demand, to provide guidance to all institutions to prioritize education and training interventions in those areas. Thirdly, South Africa is a signatory to international treaties and conventions governing the rights of migrants and refugees. So he says all policies and interventions were developed within the ambit of the Constitution of South Africa, and government will ensure the protection of migrant workers and their families in accordance with these international standards and guidelines. He says South Africa will also implement these initiatives within the context of its regional integration and cooperation imperatives that have already been agreed to at the Southern African Development Community and African Union levels. So, the proposed amendments to the Employment Services Act of 2014 aims to limit the extent to which employers can employ the number of foreign nationals in possession of a valid work visa in the employment, and codifies the obligations of an employer engaging foreign workers to, amongst others, employ only foreign nationals entitled to work in terms of the Immigration Act, the Refugees Act, or any other provision. To ascertain the foreign national is entitled to work in the Republic in the relevant position. Number three, to satisfy themselves that there are no South Africans with the requisite skills to fill the vacancy. Number four, to prepare a skills transfer plan where appropriate. Number five, to employ foreign nationals on the same terms as local workers. And number six, to retain copies of relevant documentation. The proposed bill amendment bill proposes a framework that will enable the minister to set quotas for employment of foreign nationals. A quota may apply in respect of a sector of the economy, an occupational category, or a geographical area. So the minister will, using this proposed amendment, establish a quota in a sector after consultation with the Employment Services Board and after considering public amendments. So in summary, he says the National Labor Migration Policy aims to achieve a balance between the population's expectations regarding accessibility to work for South Africans, given worsening unemployment and the perception that undocumented foreigners are disrupting labor market access. Number two, South Africa's labor market needs, in particular, the need for critical skills not locally available. Number 3, the protection of migrant workers and their families in accordance with international standards and guidelines. And number 4, regional integration and cooperation imperatives. So now the positives that are coming from this proposed national labor migration policy, that it speaks to the rolling out of the white paper on international migration, which then allows for the rolling out of some visas for citizens from the SADC region. So it allows for the rolling out of a general work visa, which speaks to the rolling out of a certain type of visa or a quota permit for low skilled workers, medium skilled workers that seek to work in South Africa, but those will be governed by a quota system in which the market will determine where certain people can work, the number of people that can work there, and in which areas of South Africa they can work. It does not allow just for anyone to just come to South Africa and look for employment anyway, but it will regulate which sectors these people can work, where they can work in terms of the geography, or which provinces or cities. So this will then hopefully allow even those that were closed out by the new movement from the Zimbabwe exemption permit to any other visa to be employed. It also allows for the rolling out of what is called the traders visa, which allows for cross-border traders to come into South Africa multiple times to just do their trade, to sell here, order things to go and sell in their home countries for as long as they are SADC residents or SADC citizens. It also allows for the rolling out of the SMMEs visa, small medium enterprises visa, for those that are self-employed or those that are doing informal trade. But also you will remember that this policy that we've just read out seeks to close out again some sectors in the small and medium enterprises where non-South Africans can work. So we can only be hopeful that this, although it closes out some sectors, also opens room for especially those that are of low skill from the SADC region to work, do business, and also do informal trade in South Africa. We will continue to inquire about some of the sections that this new labor migration policy speaks to, and then as we continue to get this clarified, we'll come back again and broadcast this to you. You can ask your questions on what you didn't understand via the comment section of this underneath this video, and where we also seek clarification, we will also inquire with those that are experts in terms of labor migration policy. But for now, you can continue to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it. Thank you very much.